what a wonderful mess. Look at that. Oh, hey, by the way, what's up? It's me, that guy from YouTube. But I finally got the stupid 701 off the bat. And we can start sawmilling. I need to get rid of that entire pile, and that's gonna be the goal of this video, hopefully. Unless something breaks in half, and then I need to spend 5 hours fixing it. Only one half, by the way. But there's like a couple of things that I need to do first. I need to saw, the log deck from there. I need to brace it over there. But no, I don't want to disembark these guys, so I figured I'm gonna cut them up, but I'm not gonna split them. If I recall, the splitter was kind of broken, plus I don't want to waste time on this guy. Also, I need to get this guy out of here as well. But luckily, that's pretty easy. Man, look at that mess. Now don't you three fool around here. I don't need any hybrid siblings. Now as for this dude though, guy can stay here for, I think it's not gonna get in my way during this mission. I mean, at the moment it has some traction related issues. But dude, look at the bed. It's free now. We can get to work. Oh, I still need that. You know, honestly, I think this kind of played out pretty good. And the stupid ants are still there, but it rained like 30 minutes ago or something like that. So they all heat. That means we can quickly empty this log deck and then steal the log deck itself. We only have one problem though. I don't have any boxes to put the firewood in. They're still filled. Plus I don't want to throw them on the ground as well. I think my only option right now is to grab a couple of those white boxes instead. And they kind of suck for storing firewood because it's kind of annoying to get the stuff out of the box. But maybe by the time we reach that far, we can just kind of cut the box open, then we can access it a bit better. I think that's the only option I have at the moment, sadly. What's up, white hobo? Yeah, I know, you're basically dead, but hang in there for a couple of more centuries, please. I'm hungry. I mean, guys, I just did my first test, my first rainy test on the new lot. I would say it went pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, that thing held up pretty okay. It's been raining ever since the morning, actually. I kind of like the center part, you know. That part is still kind of iffy. Also, for some reason, this part is kind of wet. I'm not sure, maybe water collects here. Maybe it has like nowhere to go and then it just pools into this location. That's why this is more wet than everything here. But you know, the parking side, we didn't have this nice gravelly sand here. It was just mostly freaking clay. So that's still like mud basically, right? Maybe even worse than mud, I'm not really sure. One thing's for sure, if I go there with my boots, then my boots feel like 10 kilos heavier. But if I walk here, then it's totally fine. But I think these two should be enough for that pile. I'm gonna drill some holes as well into the boxes because I am unsure when I'm actually gonna split these guys. So they might stay inside the box for a really long time, so I want to have at least some airflow in there. Okay. It's off water. Smells like airflow. Man. You know, someone remind me to go buy more of those 20-inch chains, because this is literally my last one. Dude, I can't see anything. Should cut pretty good. Okay. Oh, the chain tensioner. Almost forgot. I kinda totally forgot about this chain tensioner. I was supposed to buy something, but in my defense I forgot. So we're gonna go with the same setup as last time. Seemed to work pretty good. Smells like it worked. Why do you always bother me when I want to work?
You don't work. You're just fooling around.
That's work.
Yeah. Cat food, please.
Man. Yeah. I guess that takes care of that bit. So guys, as you remember, I did some modifications to this thing when I was setting it up for the roller deck over there. Actually, I think I'm gonna keep these modifications over there as well, but I would need to make that leg shorter because the height is incorrect for that setup. The center part actually helps out a lot. I remember last year I had some issues when the logs were not long enough, and one end just kind of kept falling in between somewhere. That was really annoying. But about this third leg, I would call, maybe we can make it like foldable, because during transport phase this guy will definitely get in the way. I can't pick the thing up. Luckily seems like I added bolts everywhere, so don't need to invite the angle grinder into the mix. Why couldn't you use the same nut? What are you, nuts? Why do you have to run and do that? Yeah, all in all, that actually went pretty good. That little wooden structure held up pretty good. Plus I got a bunch of free screws, look at that. Maybe I can put these guys to use on the sawmill. It's kind of annoying to walk between the beams, so I figured maybe I can use this as like a walking platform. That actually works pretty good. Actually, guys, I have a better idea. That works pretty good. I think I'm not gonna even, you know, secure them down or anything like that. They're not gonna go anywhere. Plus, if I need to clean under there, then I can just pull the planks out. I think this is fine. I only have one issue. My little lockers, they won't clear. Yeah, if I have like a bigger log here, then I need to take this guy further out. I mean, that guy will go there, but you can't turn it. The other guy won't even go past the plank. I mean, I don't need a lot. Maybe like 10 millimeters should be enough. I should maybe make like a steel platform here instead, but I don't have anything I can put here as of right now. Last year I wanted to buy that Creed walking platform, but for a small piece they wanted like 240 euros, so I don't want to spend like $1,000 on a walking platform. That kind of makes no sense. So I think wood will work. It will rot out eventually, but it should last several years before it does that. Pretty good. Now this is just a temporary solution, but you know how it goes. If a temporary solution is like the perfect solution, then it's a permanent solution. Oh, by the way, Mr. Cousin, thank you for removing those 2 nails. Saved me from absolute pain. Now, who put that screw there? Begone, you foul being. I think that's fine. Before we continue with the other departments and see if we need improvements there as well, let's focus on the log deck first. Technically there's like 2 things that I want to do to it. I want to add that 3rd leg, but if possible make it hingeable. And second thing would be a safety upgrade, something I did not have last year and I noticed I desperately needed. So basically if I have the log deck full, it reaches quite high up there, but it's not very long, you know. So maybe one log decides to roll down from the pile while I'm here. That was kind of sketchy last year, so I want to install some type of a stopper that will prevent the rolling log from squashing me. Nothing fancy, just like put a couple of pieces there and then post into the piece. It should work just fine. At least take the initial hit, right? And then the third leg. Let's do that first. Man, that tool is just next level physics. It's basically like if the anger grinder is nuclear fission, then that guy is nuclear fusion. It's such a difference. Ma ei tea, kuidas sa nii mööda lõikasid, ma ei saa aru. Mingi munn oled ajust või? Vai, mida sa tegid, ma ei saa aru. Tule nagu pime munn. And that's why nuclear fusion is always 30 years away. Need the question, not necessary. Sa keevitad siia ennem kinni vaata ja siis tambid ta siit paika. Ta peab ikkagi, hing peab ikkagi siin olema. No, I think this might work. My only fear right now is that maybe this hinge part is gonna get squashed by logs. But then again, maybe not. I think it's worth trying. I think the hinge is a bit weak. I had another idea as well. And I cut the sides off, so and then use the bolt as a hinge, but then I wouldn't be able to flip it all the way over. It would be like slightly tilting that way, and during transport it can just fall my way. And I could create like a custom hinge here, I guess, something more bulky, but that's gonna start interfering with the logs going that way. Even that might be a problem. I'm not sure yet. I think let's leave that here at the moment. If it's a problem, I'm just gonna delete it later. And I mean, this part is not that heavy anymore. Once we made it shorter, maybe we can just kind of take it off. But if this works, I guess it's fine. Äkki panna alla kohe välja või? Siis ta ei lubaks veereda, vaata siia alla millegil. Yeah, look at that. Mathematic strikes again. What the shit? Whatever. Check it out, guys. I'm a Robocop now. Respect my authority. Maybe that was Cartman. What an asshole that one. Dude, this little shield is very effective. I mean, the wind at the moment is blowing like at Mach 78 or something like that. And the clouds are moving faster than the speed of light. But no problem with the bolt. Nothing. Shield works. I think that should work pretty good. Keep it a bit more safe, I guess. Let's go bring the next piece of hardware and maybe do some upgrades there as well. I've been kind of thinking here for a while. I think I'm not gonna do any upgrades to this guy. I don't really see like... Well, I had a couple of ideas, but I don't see that I would benefit enough from those ideas which would make the work worth it, you know. And I figured maybe I'm gonna add like an extra post on the front end, but honestly most of my logs, which I'm gonna put here, I mean offcuts. Oh, by the way, this is an offcut station if you did not know. So from the sawmill I'm gonna get offcuts. Kind of depends what I'm cutting. If live edge boards, then I'm gonna get 4 offcuts. I mean duo for live edge. And if I'm cutting lumber, then I'm gonna get 4 offcuts per log. So all of the offcuts are gonna go here until the thing is completely filled, and then I'm gonna cut from both sides with the chainsaw in order to process this stuff into firewood. And I built it last year. It seemed to work pretty good. So yeah, I was thinking maybe add like a couple of extra posts up front, but honestly it's not really gonna do much of anything. I mean, most of the logs that I got are gonna be 3 meters long, so they're gonna reach exactly here. So having like a post in the front end makes no sense. It's just not gonna do anything. Then I figured maybe I'm gonna add posts on the spots where I do the cuts. So for example, the first cut is gonna be here, then add like a post here. And then the next cut is gonna be here, add like a post there. I mean, that's definitely gonna help me out a bit, but then again, I don't really have like anywhere to weld that post. Down there, I would need to like add a lot of things. Maybe like a piece between the 2 pieces, and then I could weld it on top, but that's not gonna be very strong. So I think it's not worth it. Maybe the one thing we could do is add a couple of anchor points on both sides of the pipe, so I could hook the strap up there, loop it around on the other side as well, and then strap this end down so it wouldn't like well, when I start cutting from that end, it's pretty chill until I reach somewhere around here, and then the entire pile just kind of wants to like fall that way, you know. Then the entire pile goes crooked. The strap at the end does help to keep the pile straight, so let's do that. I think that's the only upgrade we're gonna need at the moment, and nothing much else. Dude, there's some serious dinosaur steel over there. But anyway, guys, I think everything is pretty much ready to go. Got the sawmill. No idea if that runs. We'll see later. Then we have the log deck and the off-cut station over there. But what do you think, guys? Yeah, I know there's like always room to improve, and I want to make it a bit better every year. But if we compare this setup to what I had, let's say like 3 years ago, no, I'm gonna try to pull up some footage for you guys so you can check it out. Oh, you're back now? Okay then. I'm sorry, I got a bit sidetracked. But dude, this is much better, right? I mean, obviously, every year something goes up. Every year something gets better. I'm not really sure what type of upgrades I would need to do next year or whenever. But no, I think this side is already pretty solid. So I think we should try to focus on the sawmill itself in the future. I mean, last time it worked pretty good, but there are still quite annoying things on it. Like everything's manual. This is a manual sawmill, so there's no automation. I need to lift the entire thing by hand. I need to push the entire thing by hand. So there's like that. Well, actually, those are not really the problem. I would say the main most annoying thing about sawmills is the log handling part. So you do the cut and then you need to roll the log and then you can do the next cut. The rolling the log part is the most time consuming and energy intensive part of sawmilling if you're using a band sawmill. And if I could somehow, like, I don't know, use hydraulics to roll the log, that would be so helpful, especially with bigger logs that don't want to roll. I mean, that would be a potential upgrade for the future, I guess. I mean, right now I can manage, but you know, in about tomorrow I'm probably too weak and can't turn anything anymore. But I think we're pretty much ready now. Before I put the logs on though, I need to do a little bit more prep work. I need to get rid of the last year's leftovers. So last year we got up a lot of lumber, and this is what's left. I think the original pile was like yay high and it extended out to like this much. So maybe like 1/4 is left. But I need to clear the area for the new stuff. So this is gonna be the drying dock. All the material, all the lumber which will come from the deck will go here. Now the live edge boards, they're gonna be somewhere else. They're not gonna be part of this deal. Only lumber material goes there. And then set up the washing station. I wash every log, by the way. Just pressure wash the cutting bath. That extends the blade's life a lot. And I've been doing that for years now. Totally worth it. But other than that, already everything is here, so we can get to work. this crap. Soon, I mean. Soon. Right now we can manage. But you know, hopefully this is like the last year. Actually, use this space to maybe store lumber. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like a great space overall because I have so much room to store the stuff. But I just don't like I don't like having, you know, this is basically like firewood, right, on your attic. So if this thing catches on fire, that's a lot of fuel. So in the future, I do want to get all of this basically out of here into a separate shed somewhere outside. And maybe we'll be able to pull it off before this year ends. But you know how things are. This basically has been my temporary lumber storage spot since forever. So I want to get a bit closer. I'm kind of throwing the logs up front. unbelievable how heavy these suckers are. Bobcat can't even lift one log. Volvo picked up like 15 logs at the time. What the hell? Maybe I'm using the wrong machine again. But yeah, I want to sort out the longer pieces because I'm not planning to put them on the deck. I think I need to cut them after cutting all the shorter pieces first, and then I need to remove the deck so I could individually put them on the bed with the Bobcat. I don't think I have like enough space. Well, actually the problem is not the space, rather no, I need the Bobcat in order to turn the longer and heavier pieces on the deck. I can't manhandle them in place. That's why I need to get the lock deck out of the way in order to feed the bigger ones one by one. Plus, most likely this dude will get in the way as well. so sorry. I did not see you over there. Next time yell, hey, watch out. This thing still works. What the hell? Man, I swear. I'm never gonna buy cheap grease again. Bro, like, there's weight inside the tube. I mean, once you open up the lid, it looks like full, but there's like empty void inside the freaking tube. Look at that. I just started using it. It's already like 25% empty. Oh, by the way, don't ask why I have 3 bearings. I know that makes no sense. Hopefully the tires are still intact. I got them from a junkyard, but that was like 10 years ago. They seem to be cracked pretty badly. I don't hear any leaks. But you know, they're not looking the best. Actually, that one looks a bit better. Oh, this is even full. Fancy that. Haven't used this thing for ever since last year. Still has 3 bar in it. Wow. Bloody excellent. But anyway guys, here's the situation. I'm gonna do a couple of vlogs, and if everything looks cool, then we're just gonna go into time-lapse mode. And going through this bunch, plus whatever is there, plus the long ones. Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna even reach that far in this video, but I'm gonna try. It's just boring, you know, so I'm gonna try to make like a quick time-lapse about this entire little adventure, I guess. I'm guessing it's gonna take me maybe like 3 or 4 days if nothing explodes. As for the material, I'm aiming to get posts. I'm gonna try to get 8x8s, 6x6s and 6x4s, but I'm mostly gonna focus on 8x8s, you know, something like that. This stuff is great, but if I have enough posts, then I'm just gonna focus on regular lumber like 2x4s, 2x6s. However, the spruce will automatically go into the regular lumber size, because that's stable piece of wood, and I can get some nice pieces from there. So I don't want to cut this into like larger posts. I think it's not worth it. Other types of wood like poplar and birch and stuff like that, if you try to make smaller pieces, let's say like 2x4s out of that stuff, you're gonna mostly get junk. It's not worth it, because it's gonna twist. It's gonna go into propeller mode, it's gonna go into banana mode, and everything you get is basically useless garbage. But sadly, I don't have any nice spruce or pine in my forest, so even this, I got this from my neighbor. No, even that is not from my forest. Wow, that's quite a piece. But yeah, mostly I have you know, the other stuff: birch, alder, poplar, also a lot of elm, but you know, those are not really great for smaller lumber pieces. They're just gonna be useless, and that's why I'm gonna aim for bigger pieces. Now, out of the junk logs I got, I wanna get the bigger pieces like posts and beams, because the bigger the piece is, the less likely it is it's gonna like warp or twist or anything like that. I mean, for example, this behemoth of a log, I mean, just gonna cut it like 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and most likely it's just in half from the center. So I'm gonna get like 2 nice beams from this log, and I'm not gonna cut this down any further. It's just not worth it. You're just gonna get junk. But yeah, let's just kind of get to work. I think the sawmill should work pretty okay. I mean, last time I used it, it seemed to burr pretty okay, unless I can't remember what the problem was. Oh, I need coolant as well. Yeah, 1 second. No dead birds in there this time around. I mean bugs, not birds. Oh, the smell was pretty bad, by the way. I mean the bug smell, not the bird smell. Ah, man, this is gonna take forever. Now for the coolant, I'm using just standard winter windshield washing fluid. The people have told me that I can also use like gasoline. No, I mean don't use gasoline. I mean diesel. Yeah, that one. The diesel has the extra benefit of also lubricating everything. But dude, well, I'd rather put it inside the fuel tanks than here, where it's gonna get spilled all over. Plus, I've used this combination for, I don't even know, probably from the beginning, and it seems to work pretty good. I always get my decision what I'm gonna cut out of the log basically from the measurements, the height. Now, for example, if I can get like 25 from there, that means I'm gonna cut off 25 from here, and that leaves me 50 millimeters on the other side, so I can cut it flat and it's gonna be 20 wide. And then I can do the same for the other side. That way I can get one single post out of it. And basically all the other measurements the same way, but instead of getting a post, I'm gonna keep going and get lumber. I already have done some math in the head on about what I might need for the projects in play. Now, for example, this, I'm not planning to put a roof on it this year, so this will be yeah, I'm not gonna focus on this, but I figured Joseph's little box over there will require at least 4 posts. And I'm not really sure about this, you know. I don't even know how the roof is gonna look on the firewood processor, because I wanna keep this pathway as open as possible. So I either have 2 choices: either make the roof very low so I can go over the roof with the Volvo, for example, if I have like a very wide load, or I can take the roof on the other side. So I want to keep at least this pathway as open as possible for wider stuff. So the roof on the firewood processor, it won't cover the entire pad. It will only cover the area where I will be working mostly in the pilot seat. But at the moment I have no idea where that pilot seat is gonna be, so I guess I'm just gonna make a ballpark. 4 plus, I don't know, 20. Yeah, first log finished. 1 out of 20. This end is pretty rough though, but I think it doesn't go that far, maybe like a little bit. I noticed the engine is running a bit rough if it's just idling, kind of splattering. I think the carburetor would benefit from like a cleanup job, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I just want to work. I'm lazy like that. There was this one little issue I noticed, which might be a problem. The boards, the walking path, great to walk on, but usually I use this tool to push the log that way. And with the board being there, I don't think I have enough space. I guess we'll see. Might need to remove them. But anyway guys, I think it's pretty straightforward, so let's turn on that time-lapse part. Put some music for you guys while I enjoy a bunch of nature sounds. We interrupt this program due to the fact that the Wolverine is lost again. What? Dude, I told you not to use that Soviet GPS because all the roads lead here.
Yeah. This is so stuck.
Okay, put it back.
No, wrong. They're really stuck.
Well, I thought you already fixed the tractor. I mean, you're disassembling it now?
Oh yeah.
Completely?
It's more... it's like Lego set right now.
I thought you finished.
Oh no, just got started.
Oh man. Gonna end up with a new John Deere.
Almost.
But it's gonna
Pink.
be... Pink?
No, it's your turn. Be a man.
I'm not a man, I'm a pussy. Keerame kinnipoole onju.
Enda poole jah.
Ei, keerame sinnapoole, on äge. that?
It is screaming from joy.
Man, this is boring. I'm hungry.
Orange.
I'm hungry. Oota.
Disgrace the paint job!
What paint job? It's patina.
Wait, that was fast!
Don't forget, one nut is 10 euros.
These nuts.
We are already 76 nuts in. I started counting yesterday.
We have another one.
Yes. Closer. Thank you. Thank you. You were very useful.
Yes. You're welcome. Comrade.
Salute. Now peace off. I have lumber to cut.
Okay. Bye.
Don't forget your patina. And that was the highlight of my day. We should probably do something about that. I'm sorry guys, I just swallowed like a mosquito. Doesn't taste very good. Also makes me cough. Piss off, mosquito. Give me my duo. I think that went pretty good. So let's press the resume button somewhere over here. As the hell finally ended. This is shit. Man, I'm so sick of this crap. Took me like 2 days to empty that block deck. I don't want to continue. It's just so boring. I want to do something else. This is just crap. But we must proceed. Oh man. Bobcat jumping should be an Olympic sport. I have a bad feeling. And it's not the wrong impact thing. Because I already came prepared. Talking about the better. natuke pikk. Panen siia, kurat. You know what? I think we should do like a little concrete expansion on this side. And from there up to this corner, but maybe with like a little turn. And I don't want the sawdust to get on the grass, so should be a pretty good idea. Kuradi liks hakkad. What does that engineer want now? I need to undo a bearing. Oh man. If this keeps up, the guy is gonna be featured in my movies more than I will, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But no, for a moment, let's just kind of pretend we have no idea what the guy wants. Maybe he will not see us. Did you not see the do not disturb sign on my lawn?
Nope.
Yeah, you drove over it again, that's why. You have that. And use that here with this stuff.
Give me a second. I'll lift it over here.
So you want the balls?
I need balls.
You don't need the outer race.
Nope. You can keep it.
What about the inner race?
You can keep it. It's your new wedding ring.
What about the ball guard?
Yeah, I don't need it.
Need it?
I don't need it.
What about the balls?
Need them.
Yeah.
Only got to need spare.
take it back to the shop, tell them it's something's
broken.
wrong.
Yeah.
It's defective.
Why does it smell so bad?
You shit your pants, that's why.
Uued saaled seitsmesada.
ma panen need endale kuradi küünanuki alla pigem.
Bracelets. Now we'll get back together. No.
Oh, you need it?
Anything.
käepõrru sulle. Kind of hot. Oh, look at me. I'm so fancy.
Thank you, I guess.
Okay, for payment I'm gonna take this because I have none at the moment. Thanks.
These were my last.
Yeah, well, go cry to someone who cares.
Young. Damn, it's too well.
Okay. I need to put a new "Do Not Disturb Me" sign out on the lawn. Hopefully that'll work. Didn't you read the sign? Man, piss off! Who the hell invited you to the arena? Bro, I don't even know what that gunk is. It kind of looks like oil, but doesn't smell like it. Smells like candy or something like that. sticky as hell. I think it's some type of liquid candy actually. Smells very sweet. Also very sticky. Looks like the last piece was holding everything together. The last little biological shield we have against the sun on the space part. Yeah, we gotta make sure we never remove those two trees. Very important, right? And luckily I have no reason to remove them unless Mother Nature thought, hey, I need to remove them. Then I don't really have like a say in that. But yeah, I think I'm like 4 or 5 days in so far. And maybe we're like through, I don't know, 30% of the material. Dude, this is just gonna take forever. I think this is gonna be my longest video I've ever made, because at the moment I'm thinking I'm just gonna try to finish everything, you know. So that bunch and also the long ones. So I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm gonna quit at some point. But guys, as much as I think this job is boring. But guys, as much I think this job is boring. Kuradi kaamera, mis kuradi boring? I say boring and the camera stops recording. What the crap now? Okay, let's try again. But guys, as much as I think this is boring, one moment, I lost train of thought. Oh yeah, which it is, by the way. This is extremely boring. I still absolutely love my setup, what I have. So the log deck, super useful. The stoppers, the little helpers which help to roll on the log to the main deck. Also that green box where I can store all the offcuts so I can process them later. and then I have those boxes where I can put everything in. And let's not forget about the most important thing. The freaking 150 tons of concrete. The mixy mix pad where I can do all the work on. That I think that's like the best part of the entire setup, honestly. Now, if you go back like 6-7 years, then instead of a log deck, I had all the logs on the dirt. I had to roll them somehow uphill onto the bed, but instead of the slab box, I had like a couple of pieces of trees where I just drew all the offcuts. And I did the processing like half a year later, but that's like extra handling, right? You need to draw the things in between the two trees, then you need to wait half a year, and then you need to one by one pull them out again in order to cut them. But here I just take it from the sawmill, stack it inside the box, and then immediately got it. So there's like one extra less step, right? And honestly, I don't really see that I need to do much of anything. I think it's already pretty perfect, apart from a couple of upgrades on the sawmill, make that a bit more user friendly, I guess. Other than that, I would say this is pretty decent. Well, I guess like a roof would help out as well, and something higher, so I wouldn't smash it down with the bobcat while hauling logs in. But yeah, I'm really happy how this setup has came to be, I guess. It has taken many years, but we finally reached the end on one project, at least. Oh, and yeah, a nice spot to store all the material as well. Also air, power, everything. Fuel is here as well. Perfect little setup, I would say. But with the first pile, I think, well, everything went pretty smooth. I did not have anything weird happen to me, apart from that one little incident. Me. Yeah. You know, the sucky thing is that I only got like maybe 4 or 5 logs cut with that blade before it broke. So it's still like super sharp at the moment. It would have got amazingly well for a while at least. Sadly, it had some other ideas. Now why it broke, it's anyone's guess. I'm guessing age at the moment, because this is one of my older saw blades. These are the ones I got with the first build of my pan sawmill. So I would say this is maybe like 10 years old at this point, and I have sharpened it, resharpened it maybe like 7 times up to this date. So yeah, my money is on age at the moment. Funnily enough though, I did not notice any weirdness before it broke. It just kind of snapped. Usually when a blade starts to break or is about to snap, there are a couple of signs that you can look out for. It's either a vibration or weird sounds. You know, when the blade develops like a crack and it's going around, it's developing weird sounds plus a lot of vibration. Weirdly though, I did not notice anything with that guy. It just kind of broke. So now, I've had blades broken on me before, maybe like 1 or 2 per year on average, but nothing major. Honestly, I think it's pretty normal. I mean, as the blade travels around the wheels, it's constantly getting bent, you know, and eventually if you keep bending steel, it's gonna develop metal fatigue and it will fail. Normal loss, I would say. It just kind of sucks that it broke after 3 or 4 logs. You know, for reference, I can cut maybe up to 30 logs with a single blade, and that's because of the washing station over there. That helps out a lot. I think that's totally worth it. But anyway, let's just continue, I guess. Still got a buttloads of work that we need to do. I'm gonna try to make it fast for you guys though. You don't need to suffer as I will. Mingi kuradi oks panin paugu talle. Kuradi! Well, at least this area is nicely cleared up now. It was kind of bugging me for a while. But man, it's so hot. It's like plus 30 degrees at the moment, Celsius. But anyway, guys, unless something catastrophic happens, I think we'll just go through this part with a bit of cocaine modding. Now, I'm unsure if I can keep the camera on the same spot, so sorry about if this is gonna look a bit weird. But this is probably gonna take me like 2.5 days, maybe, if I'm not lazy. Plus, I don't want to do another time lapse. I think this is fine. Try to hang in there, okay? Why did I put these things not down? Oh, maybe I should read the manual. I mean, look at that, it worked. Me. I was very thirsty. I blame you guys. You send me too much candy. Makes me wanna drink a lot. And if you say that the candy is for the kids, then I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Kids and candy don't fit in the same sentence, at least in my universe. But yeah, I'm out of those sticks, you know, what the ones which you put between the things so that lumber can dry. I need to quickly cook up some. One moment. Wonder how long that was. Okay. We may have something here. Yeah, I know, it's like a weird pattern. And the blade was not doing blade things, basically. There we go. that's about to expire. Right over there. And for some reason, these newer blades that I got, these break a lot more often than the older blades that I got first. So these are, I think, like 40 or 35 maybe wide, but the old blade was 30. However, I think I've broken a lot more of these wider blades than compared to the first ones. I think these are just kind of junk because I paid maybe like $10 per blade. The quality is most likely less than garbage. I was actually about to change this blade out because it was just so dull. Good thing it actually broke first. And there's really no point trying to weld these things. If it already broke from one place, it's most likely gonna break at another place as well. Now this is the original welding spot, and I don't think I can ever get it that smooth. Plus without any bumps or humps. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last year we did not break a single blade. So having like 2 already so far into the mission seems like a lot. Hopefully the pattern will not continue. But anyway, there's like a mysterious little hole in this vlog. This wasn't visible from the outside. So this, well, the tree basically grew around the hole, right? Very nice elm 2x6s. Look at that. I'm kind of stepping in for a moment again. Now, sometimes I have these bigger offcuts that are very hard to lift. And because I put the offcut on the lock deck, then I can just lift one end, drag it here, support the other end there. And lifting one end is a lot easier than lifting the entire thing. I can just kind of hone it into place. A rotten piece of crap. Excellent news, guys. Looks like a little bit of rain. In my homemade little water storage system, I was kind of starting to run low. Perfect timing, right? Oh, hi. How's it going? Dude, I love that water setup. It works so good. Wish the storage capacity was a bit higher though. Maybe I could connect several of these boxes in series, you know. That might solve the problem. I'm gonna interrupt for a moment. You know, the pattern in this oak plank is just amazing. Never seen that before. Pretty nice. that red cedar? It looks like... I think I've never seen one before. Kind of looks like a red cedar, right? Very reddish. Well, for me, it's a post of a shed. Oh man. What the hell is this thing? I hate huge bloated logs on this log deck. I mean sawmill deck. Moving these things around is just so annoying. It takes forever to turn the thing. Well, at least I don't need to go to the gym in order to lift some weights, right? Got my own personal gym over here. And this plate still had a little bit of life left in it, but let's change it. And it feels very good when you put on a new blade. Sort of like when you put on a brand new chain on a chainsaw, and the first cuts are just so good. Pretty much the same with this guy. And the worst thing that can happen in this scenario would be dropping this size of a guy down there on the concrete. I've had it happen before a couple of times and it's not quite pleasant. With bigger logs, this is the most annoying part. It's sort of doable with 3-meter pieces, but the 6-meter pieces, those are gonna be the pain, that's for sure. And I'm talking about cutting the third side. So you do one first side, then the second side, and then you need to do the third side, but you need to lay it upright on the uncut side. If you get the third side cut, then it's pretty much cake from there on out. Yeah, this is sort of doable, but the long ones, I don't know, bro. I need to call the fire brigade for that part. Usually those guys are really muscly and stuff. And for example, if I can't fit any hydraulics down there, which would do the turning part, I had another idea as well. Maybe add like a winch up top. And maybe like some type of I-beam setup over the head. Install a winch on a couple of casters. I mean, that will probably help with the turning part tremendously, right? Maybe the hydraulic turner would be overkill for my setup. What do you guys think? Which one makes more sense? Dude! Check out my morning mood. Morning mood. Okay. Oh my lord. This should be 300 by 300 millimeters at the moment. To all of you freedom loving birds out there, I think this is 12 by 12, and I'm pretty sure you can't even buy this normally if you go to like a lumber store. I think they usually max out at around 8 by 8s maybe. Wait a minute. 6 by 6 is 150. Yeah, this should be 12. Yeah. Now, obviously I'm not gonna keep it like this. It looks pretty cool and all, but this thing has no practical use whatsoever. It weighs, well, pretty much like an entire log, and it's just overkill. Too strong, too heavy. I'm gonna cut it from the middle, so I'm gonna cut it into 4 pieces of 6 by 6s. So that's a bit more useful. Also, because this is poplar, there's really no point cutting it into smaller pieces. This guy will twist and warp so badly that it will basically break physics and open a singularity. I don't have time to deal with the cosmic vacuum cleaner. But yeah, 4 pieces of very badly smelling 6x6s. And well, almost finished. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 pieces. I'm not sure what went wrong there. But yeah, almost finished, guys. This load actually went a lot faster than the first one. Yeah, let's finish this. Man. That's exactly what I wanted. Look at the shithead, bro. If I had a giant incinerator right about now, this guy would fly in there at the speed of light. Literally. Oh, jois mio. Türa nendest palkidest mul siiber. Kõik põlema neist. I mean, I think we should get it. It broke for no reason. Ratti business. What do you think, guys? Is that worth anything? It kind of smells like dead fish, but I don't know. I just cut those pieces up because I couldn't be bothered to cut them into anything else. But I don't think I'm gonna need them in the future, so maybe some of you are interested. And these are 60mm stick, roughly 3 meters long, and there's oak here, there's elm there, and I think something in the middle. Looks like the last piece was a bit rot from the center, but maybe that's not a problem. Might be like a cool epoxy project, you know. I don't even know how much these things would be, you know, worth value-wise. It would be great for some custom furniture builds, I guess, like countertops or I don't know, Soviet chairs. But yeah, whatever. Maybe you guys are interested, maybe not. If not, then I'm just gonna cut them into firewood if I don't need them. But now this guy will be cut into something. Six by 8. I think that's something. The next one will be a nice post. Mosquito sounds. Look at that. Super mom doing super mom things. Hey, oh. Hey. Super mom. Guten Morgen. But anyway, 3 more. That's better than 8. Stop mowing. To F15, I think, or maybe 18, right over there. Very low, maybe like 200 meters above the ground, or maybe they were F16. I don't know, couldn't tell. Now there's like a air base not too far from me, so if shit hits the fan, then I'm pretty sure my spaceport will be collateral damage. That's why I'm pouring massive amounts of concrete everywhere, by the way, if you did not get it. Last post. No more. But 2 more logs. luckily the last log decided to transform into firewood, so that was pretty easy. Don't like this though. Basically, we need to go wake up the gear with splitter for this part, but that thing is broken, so we need to first fix it. Not funny, but at least I got through the first pile, right? The bigger one at least. And exactly 2 boxes of offcuts, so about 10 cubic meters of firewood from the offcuts alone. I'm probably gonna get a lot more from the longer pieces as well, because I'm not planning to cut any live edge boards from this bunch. No sir. And actually these cuts are gonna be extremely easy. I just need to cut them 4 times, cut the corners off, make it square, and then just cut it, either leave it like that or cut it straight from the center to get the 2 beams. So this is just solely like beam material. However, there's still gonna be a lot of chunks that I need to cut off that are either crooked. For example, I need to cut this end off. This end is going up somewhere. Bunch of mushrooms, maybe cracks. So I need to remove the unnecessary bits. Plus, I think some of them are like 7 meters long, so I can't cut anything longer than 6. We need to shorten the really long ones. For example, this is like 8, I think. But luckily the end also turns that way, so we can make it shorter from that end. But still, I'm kind of looking at this and I'm thinking this is like 3 days of work at least. We need to process them one by one, right? Plus we need to empty the freaking box again. Plus we need to deal with that. The gear splitter needs to be fixed as well. So currently I'm thinking, well, I'm like 6 or 7 days into this mess already. So I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna wrap this one up and I'm gonna pick up the work in the next video. I need like a break. This is just too much work. Luckily I don't need to do this every year. Well, more than 1 time per year, right? I only do this 1 time per year. So, but guys, don't get me wrong. The amount of work, yes, a lot, but dude, just imagine how much actual money I'm saving by not buying this stuff. At least up to this point, every year I have somewhat used up everything I made. I even ran out of live edge boards when building the latest fence, for example. I think we're covered for the next 5 miles of fencing at least, right? Plus I got those beams, the post material over there. I think I got everything I wanted, at least those 2 parts. And then we have that 2x4s and 2x6s. Now, every year I also do a bit of math and try to figure out how much of lumber in value I have generated in a week. Let's do that this time as well. I'm kind of curious to find out. I'm gonna put my numbers from a local sawmill, and then I'm gonna also take like 30% or 20% off, because the quality of my lumber is not as good as what you find in a sawmill. But we should get like a rough idea, I guess. Let's start off with the 2x4. So those are €1.73 per meter. We have 16 rows plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 times 8 plus 14 times 3. That's 426 meters by 1.74. So that's like €741 already in the center over there. Okay, keep the numbers in mind. I'm gonna forget most likely. 429 plus 740 something. 1169. Now the posts are a bit odd one, because some of them are 8x8s, some of them are 6x8s, some of them are 4x8s. I try to keep at least one size by 8. so I could still use it as a post. Guess we can do like some type of oh, look at this. This guy doesn't even have 8x8s. The maximum is 6x6s. What a bunch of cow crap. Well, if 6x6 is 7.8 something, I'm guessing 8x8 is a bit more. Maybe let's go with 9, whatever. $405 plus 61169, right? $1.5 grand so far from there to here, and I'm guessing that's maybe like $300, probably not a lot more. Let's go at 300, and then let's take 25% off, so 1.4 grand roughly. 1.4 grand of value generated in lumber in about 6 days. Oh, that bunch there as well. No, like I said, I have no idea how much this garbage is worth. I'm guessing $1, but this good luck doing the math. I don't know, let's put it like $200. Seems reasonable, right? I mean, all in all, I'm guessing maybe around 2 grand total. I think that's pretty good. Plus, this is gonna save quite a bit of money once I start building anything. And if I don't build anything, this stuff is not gonna go anywhere, right? It's gonna remain nicely under a roof somewhere. And if I need to, then I can use it on some other project in the future. For example, the 2x4s will primarily go into the main house, the second loft area that I want to develop into some type of a room. So this will be an excellent framing material for that room. Now the 2x6s most likely will go on a shed, making the base coat or subframe for the roofing panels. Now I did that last year when I was making the firewood. Well, that shed over there, I don't want to go very close, it's kind of raining at the moment. But you know, on this little shed I used the same technique. I used those 2x6s as the sub base for the roofing panels, and it was an excellent idea because I could safely walk on them. They were, I mean, they were pretty strong, they would not break under my weight at least, and it felt pretty safe going around up there. So I think I have pretty much everything for the whatever build I might want to do in the future. The only thing I'm missing are the beams, and that's the next part of the mission. But you know, like I said, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna try to continue with the work as fast as possible, because I don't really like that mess that I have there at the moment. The accessibility between the buildings is just pretty crap at the moment. I would like to get rid of those long logs as well, as fast as possible. So I'm gonna go wait a bit, maybe the rain will stop, and then I'm gonna continue the work. Yeah, bye bye guys, thanks for joining in. Hopefully we'll be able to finish this wild adventure by the next movie. And will this crap ever end? Oh yeah, I just have to press that stop button.